Philly!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and I'm joined here by my friends and colleagues, Seamus G. and Sam Glavin. Week 4 of no sports. I'm here in Dr. Anthony Fauci's basement, going live with the boys. Things are starting to kind of spiral out of control on my end. I'm getting sick of Call of Duty. Guys, how are you holding up?
I've been better. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is it's a tough time for me. I've run out of Phillies postseason games to watch, and yeah, it's about. I'm at the point where I might have to start watching the Phillies yearbooks, and that's just not going to go well.
That sounds like something that you and only you are going to do. Seamus, how about yourself?
Well, you know, it's been tough. It's been pretty brutal. I mean, I've been going through some really good video games that I would recommend. Red Dead Redemption, Sunset Overdrive, Star Wars Fallen Order, all good games. But the hardest part of this is making school feel like it's non-optional. It feels totally optional right now, and as we do this, I'm procrastinating a paper for my history class. So it's could be better. Could be better.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have a paper due at midnight, and it's 10 o'clock right now as we're recording on Monday, April 6th. It's due at midnight. It's a short paper, and I finished it. I just haven't submitted it yet because I just haven't really felt like it. So clearly we're all having
a dangerous game you're playing there, Mr. Conway. A dangerous game.
Jeez, that is a dangerous game.
Yeah, we're all having very productive quarantines, both academically and spiritually, I see. Still, there's a lot to talk about in the world of sports, despite the fact that none are really going on. We've got NFL draft coming up. They've decided to go virtual. The NFL draft, it's all-decade team. We're talking Phillies. JT Realmuto's in the last year of his deal. It's kind of an issue if there's no season. How are they going to evaluate that? And the Sixers, nothing's going on with the Sixers. So, and I'm okay with that. So, guys, we're going to kick it off with the Eagles as we always do because that's the most interesting topic that we have on the docket as always. I actually have something I want to bring up. I texted you guys a couple of mock drafts today, and who did CBS and USA Today have the Eagles taking 21st overall with their mock drafts?
Don't say it.
What was it?
2 words for you, Mr. Conway. 2 words for you.
You are just
Denzel Mims.
6'3".
You are 213. Out of your gourd.
4.38 40 out of Baylor University. The one and only wide receiver Denzel Mims has been mocked to the Eagles in these most recent mock drafts. I'm very excited about that, as you can tell. I've been riding the Mims train pretty hard. How am I unbearable?
You're unbearable. If you actually think that the Philadelphia Eagles are gonna get Denzel Mims, he's not gonna fall.
Why?
He's not.
Why not?
He's not.
Why not?
Because teams are doing the same exact thing you're doing right now. They think he's a sleeper in the draft. They're going to snatch him up, and then he's going to be freaking amazing.
Hey, man. He's falling in mock drafts, though. They had him mocked ahead of us, and now he's falling back down. So there could be some stuff going on. Not a lot of teams were able to really look at Denzel Mims prior, and now with the social distancing regulations, they've had even less of a chance. And I saw a tweet as well from not Adam Schefter, but another NFL insider who's spoken to Denzel Mims and said the Eagles are among the top teams that he's been speaking to. So clearly there's an expressed interest from Howie Roseman and this front office for my boy Denzel Mims, who I have been riding hard, hoping that we draft him. Well,
pause.
If anybody says that they have the exact guy that they are going to draft right away, they need to be checked into a ward or something, because nobody knows how this draft is going to go. Nobody knows how any draft goes, but especially this one, with the amount of uncertainty that there is between teams and what they want and what they need. This has been a draft with the most uncertainty that I have seen in years.
I feel like we've just been paying a little bit more attention to it, personally. I feel like you're right. Every draft is super volatile. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And obviously, a mock draft is exactly that, a mock draft. It's not set in stone. It's not the actual draft. But I'm hopeful that we're able to get, because this guy, I think, is the best wide receiver that we can get at that spot. Personally, I think I think he's better. I think he'll be better right away than Justin Jefferson. Like, this guy is a unit. He's not lightning fast. He's not Henry Ruggs fast or Jamar Chase fast, but he runs a 4.38. That's legit speed that we need on the outside, and he can adjust and make tough catches. I've said it time and time again. I want to be able to take him at 21, and if we're able to do it, then we can. If not, I'll just have to cry myself to sleep for a couple weeks, but I'll get over it.
And you want to be able to say that you predicted it right from week 1 or whatever.
Well, it's not so much that I predicted that, because if you predict that somebody gets drafted late in round 1, it's like, okay, cool. Like, you looked at teams late in the round that need receivers and they took a receiver. I'm not really proud so much about that. It's the fact that Denzel Mims was graded as a late second-round draft pick. And I went and I watched Senior Bowl tape of wide receivers that I was, trying to see what the Eagles could rustle up. And I saw that he was graded pretty low, and I was like, he should be graded higher. And as time has passed, his grade has increased substantially. So I'm allowed to be a little bit excited about that. And also, I think that he fits the Eagles' needs perfectly. But, time will tell. We've still got a couple weeks.
I know. I'm just busting your stones.
I know. It's interesting stuff going on with the draft. We're probably going to trade for Yannick Ngakoue anyway, so we probably won't even.
Yeah, that's
first
true.
Round pick.
That's
That's
true.
fine too. That's also cool. Like, I don't got a problem with anything, as long as we get.
I've also seen us trading back in some draft, like mock drafts. Like, people are thinking that Howie might try and go and trade back, which I'm not too happy about. But I
don't like that idea.
If you
at all.
think if you think that this draft class is so stacked, you wouldn't want to trade back. I don't. I'm just seeing rumblings on Twitter about it, and I couldn't be more opposed.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I want at all. If anything, if they're going to move spots in the draft, I want it to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe secure a guy like Denzel Mims or Judy. Like, I don't know why you would want to trade back.
Same class.
Excuse me? What? They are.
Mims and Judy are in 2 different levels of wide receiver.
They're going to be within 2 picks of each other.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
Denzel Mims is a talent, man. People are seeing it. Who knows? I wouldn't say that he's a Jerry Jeudy type, because Jerry Jeudy is a polished.
No,
route runner.
there's no question Judy's better than him, but he's going to be within 2 or 3 picks of. They're going to be within 2 or 3 picks of each other.
Unless, of course. How low do you think Judy's going to go? I don't even know. The draft is crazy. I love the draft, but I also freaking hate the draft. I can't stand it.
I have seen every combination of which receivers go first and last. I've even seen Judy fall to the Eagles in a mock draft one time, and they have Ruggs going first, like the first receiver out of the draft, and then they have
Ruggs.
Yeah,
man. 4.2 speed.
That's why I can't base any of my knowledge about any of this stuff on mock drafts, because they have so many different ideas. Like, I've seen every combination of wide receivers in order.
Yeah, the draft, man. I do have to say that I'm actually gonna walk back me disagreeing with you about how this is one of the most uncertain drafts. Because outside of Joe Burrow number 1 and like Chase Young number 2, who's the best at each position is highly debated for many of the positions that are of import. Especially offensive linemen, I see like a different guy. That's the first.
Nobody gets that draft. Right ever.
Nobody knows. I mean, there's every once in a while there's the Quentin Nelson who's just like, all right, this dude's a boss. This dude is a boss hoss, and I'm gonna. You can plug and play, and he'll be an all-pro lineman. Which the Colts, good for them.
Would you say Andre Dillard is of that caliber?
What the hell do you think, Sam? You think I would say that? No, I'm not smoking crack anymore. All right, I quit that junk. All right.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you gotta stay off the rock, dude.
Gotta stay off the rock.
Let's move away from the rock. Let's
That's what I'm trying to do every day of my life, Sam. But
Speaking of The Rock, WrestleMania. No, I'm joking.
it actually did. That's actually a good segue into our next talking point.
Oh.
Because Rob Gronkowski lifted the WWE 24/7 championship belt at WrestleMania 36 over the weekend. And not only did he earn that honor, he was also voted the best tight end of the 2010s for the all-decade draft, or the all-decade team that the NFL dropped. And that's actually a pretty nice segue you had there, Seamus G, as much as it was a joke.
Was Gronkowski a unanimous pick? Like, was he in bold on that announcement on Instagram?
I don't know.
I would assume of the two that they picked, I would assume that Gronkowski is the unanimous one.
Would be I think Brady.
No, I meant for tight ends.
For tight ends.
tight
Yeah,
ends.
definitely Gronk, and then Travis Kelce was probably close behind.
I gotta think that Zach Ertz was in the mix.
He had to be in the mix because who you put over him there? Maybe Greg Olsen, maybe because he's been trailing off.
I would not take Greg Olsen over Zach Ertz.
There was a point in time I would have. It was
I
maybe
think I
6
would've
years
taken
ago, but
yeah, maybe when he was a rookie. Yeah,
yeah, but no, yeah, Zach Ertz. It's just tough because they didn't have room. At first, I thought he was snubbed. But then you look at Gronk and Travis Kelce. Like, Travis Kelce's had way more production.
We were talking about this a little bit before the show. I mean, I think the only reason that I would have kept Travis Kelce out of that and put Zach Ertz in is that if Travis Kelce didn't win a Super Bowl, and Zach Ertz has, and that was Zach Ertz's best season.
No doubt, he was a freight train.
He was unreal.
Yeah, no question about that. So it's a bummer that he's not on there, but the Eagles are well represented.
While it is a bummer, you have to think about longevity. It's a decade team. And I just don't think that at this moment, Ertz has the longevity that both Gronk and TK had.
Well, Gronk retired like 2 years ago.
Gronk did not have longevity.
Yeah, he was a burst of flames, and he was the best tight end in the league for like 6 years, and then he retired.
Yeah, 6 years.
So that's like, but Ertz is younger than him anyway, so I guess it's kind of the same kind of deal. So, but Gronk was just so dominant in the time that he was in the league. I understand why he would be the unanimous tight end, because it just, it makes sense for Gronk, because the dude was an absolute animal, regardless of what you think of him off the field or his occasional violent conduct on the field. The dude was just an absolute train. Like, you couldn't cover him. We saw in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Couldn't.
Him on Ronald Darby looked like a school kid guarding Rob Gronkowski.
Let me ask you guys this: do you think that there's a point in Dallas Goedert's career where we will be saying, "Man, like this guy is like one of the best"?
I think it's distinctly possible. I mean, we talked about this over the summer too, like the potential that he has to surpass Zach Ertz in terms of tight end ability, because I think he's got just as good hands, and we'll see if he's going to become, it's tough when you've got a guy like Zach Ertz ahead of you to really shine, but say Zach Ertz retires at some point and Dallas is in his prime, because he's still a young guy. He's like 24,
Well, we said
25.
the same thing. We said the same thing about Brent Selleck being ahead of Zach Ertz. Like, he's got big shoes to fill, and Zach Ertz blew it out of the water.
Exactly. And Dallas Goedert could even take that up to another step, because you've seen the one thing that Dallas has that Zach doesn't. And this is in no way a slight to Zach Ertz. I mean, without him, we wouldn't have any of the success that we've had in recent memory. No doubt about it. Zach Ertz is still the best tight end on this team. But he doesn't get yards after the catch like Dallas does.
Oh, it's actually brutal to watch. Zach Ertz
he catches the ball and just falls down. There was
bad.
There was one game, was it in the playoffs?
Well,
towards the end of the season, he caught the ball, and then he had open space, but he just ran to the center of the field and got tackled. I'm like, you could have scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
and that's my only criticism.
And even if he does like run after the catch and like tries to do something, then he'll just fumble the football.
I saw him hurdle a guy in like 2014, and I thought that was sick, and I haven't seen anything really like that out of him since. Granted, I mean, that's so nitpicky when it comes to a guy like Zach Ertz.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I would like to nitpick one more thing.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert's a better blocker.
Yeah, he's definitely a more willing blocker.
Yes.
I feel like also
I feel
because
like the tight end today though is not measured by how well you can block. It's definitely tight ends are definitely more receivers now than they have been ever.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a less important aspect of a tight end's game these days, but it definitely helps, especially when you have injuries to your offensive line like we did last year. I think having a tight end that's able to block, like we had that in Brent Selleck. We had a willing blocker that Super Bowl year because Trey Burton, is that his name? Philly special
Burton.
guy. Trey Burton. How do I forget? Jeez, that's awful. So
Yeah,
some Burton.
I don't know. Yeah.
He was good. And then he signed
great,
with the Bears, and then haven't heard from him since. But
Yeah, seriously.
he was with us for a year and then bounced, and that was good for him. But we had Selleck as that guy that could really just get down and dirty in the trenches when we needed it, like a heavy set. And we don't have that guy really anymore. But do we need it? Is the question. Like we've got two such dynamic, athletic tight ends already in Dallas and Zach, asking Dallas to hang back and block for a couple of run plays or just for max protection in the passing game. We're really spoiled for choice when it comes to our tight ends. We have an embarrassment of riches.
We have been for years.
Oh my God, it's incredible. It's the one spot on the team I'm never worried about.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you ever think we're going to get to a point where we're going to be like, oh my gosh, these tight ends are terrible?
I mean, there's going to be a point where the Patriots have a horrible quarterback. That's inevitable. It's inevitable that a position falls off.
It's going to be this year.
Might be this year. Hashtag
Yeah.
Stidham gang. Jared Stidham.
Jeez. No, they're gonna trade. They're gonna trade up, and they're gonna go get Love out of Utah State or whatever.
Jordan Love, that's a guy. I actually think he's better than Justin Herbert, but we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, jeez.
I said it last episode as a joke, and then I watched some tape today, actually, and he's better than Justin Herbert.
Think about the leagues or the conferences.
Yeah.
Pac-12 versus what? Whatever. Pac-12's terrible.
I think Utah are they in the Big 12 or the Pac-12?
Utah's
State.
not. Utah State.
Oh, he goes
is
to Utah
nobody.
State.
He's like it's in like the Mountain
Utah
West.
State. Oh. I thought he went to Utah.
Okay, Carson Wentz. What league did he play in? Joe Flacco. What kind of league did he play in? Tony Romo. What league did he play in? It's all about the talent and whether or not they end up in the right situation. And I think if Jordan Love's a guy that's young and still moldable, and I think he has more pro traits than Justin Herbert, who I think cannot throw the ball with touch at all. He just looks the part. He looks like a Brock Osweiler type. Oh, he's got a cannon for an arm.
Brock
He's
Osweiler.
6'6". He's a white guy. GMs love tall white quarterbacks with a big arm. You know? He's not particularly accurate. He just isn't. Like, he can't throw any outbreaking routes. But, that's neither here nor there. But I'm not concerned about who the Patriots draft for their quarterback. That's really none of my concern right now. But that's my 2 cents on the Herbert Love debate. If we want to have a conversation about that, but I don't really want to.
I mean,
I'm good.
No, I would
I'm gonna let that one slide.
rather. Yeah, let's move on. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't know why you're using Brock Osweiler as a good example of a good quarterback. He's terrible.
I never said he was a good quarterback. That's my point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole point of what I was saying. Was that he wasn't good.
The whole point was the
The
misguided.
whole point of that
thought
monologue.
process.
Yeah.
Listen up, kid.
Whatever.
All right, but yeah, moving on back to the NFL All-Decade team. While Ertz was possibly snubbed, there was another noticeable name missing at the center position. Jason Kelsey, again, tough. Only 2 centers on the team, and ahead of him was Marquise Pouncey and Alex Mack, 2 excellent centers. So while I think Jason Kelsey has been the best center in the league recently, or for a long time recently, if that makes any sense, for the better part of the decade, I feel like they have more of the
3 or 4
decade
years.
cornered. Yeah, I think they have more of the decade cornered, so I can't really argue with that. But we still have 3 names on the team. 3 or 4 even. 4 names.
3.5.
I'm going to start over.
3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, we can go with 3.5.
Okay.
I was kind of surprised to see Shady McCoy on the list.
I'm not.
I was a little surprised.
There's definitely
about
could
the
be
other
better
running backs.
options. There definitely could be better options.
Don't get me wrong.
Longevity's
Don't
tough
get
in
me
the
wrong.
NFL.
I love Shady, but maybe because I always try and look at players and see like I don't know why I do this, but I like players that like stay on the same teams for like long periods of time. I just like those kinds of players better. And he's bounced around a couple different teams, so maybe that's why I'm like just like a little bit biased, and that might be a little bit ridiculous, but it's just what I do. I don't know why, but I just think that there could have been like some better options than Shady.
I don't think
What
so,
are
dude.
those options? Let us know.
I don't think so.
Now I got to pull up the list, right? So I don't say that one that's on the list, but I mean, I'm thinking. Well, Adrian Peterson was the unanimous pick from the running backs. Who are the others? Let's see.
I'm coming with the receipts for why Shady 100% deserves to be on this list. What's you?
All right, so it's Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch, Shady McCoy, and Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm thinking that, Frank Gore is fantastic, and so is Marshawn Lynch. Dude, I don't know. I would say that, like, I really think that Saquon Barkley is just a talent, man. Like, he is
What are you smoking?
Dude, he is
For the
fucking
all-decade
good.
team, dude?
Maybe not for the all-decade team, but do you even think he was in consideration?
No. Let
about
me read
Darren
you what he's
Sproles,
accomplished. Let me read. Well, Darren Sproles is in the flex, actually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because most of his stuff is done on special teams and as a change of pace back. LaShawn McCoy was drafted by the Eagles in 2009. So 2009, that year doesn't count. But still, he made 6 Pro Bowls, 2011, and then 2013 through 2017. Was a 2-time first-team All-Pro in 2011 and 2013. Led the NFL in rushing yards in 2013. Led the NFL in rushing touchdowns in 2011, and became the Eagles' all-time rushing yards leader in his span with the Eagles from 2009 to 2014, which the majority of which is in the 2010s.
Well,
and he won a
Le'Veon
Super Bowl.
Bell? What about Le'Veon Bell?
Le'Veon Bell's a scrub.
Yeah, but so is Antonio Brown.
He had like 3. Antonio Brown had a consistently productive. You have to look at the whole decade, not just recent memory. Not like 2016 until now. Antonio Brown has been good for a long time. Shady McCoy has been good for a long time. Le'Veon Bell was good for like 3 years, held out, and then now he sucks. Because he doesn't actually suck, but you know.
All right, you might have convinced me.
I should have, because LaShawn McCoy is the man. He's the man. He's that dude.
I have nothing against LaShawn McCoy.
Trust me. I know you don't. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Shady McCoy. I'm no Seamus G. Let me tell you. But
did he deny you an autograph in like when you were a kid, Seamus, or something? Like what happened? What happened with you and Shady?
Might just have to do with his name, dude.
You know what? When you put it like that, it's more than fair. It's more than fair. But then we look at the other guys on the team. So we have LaShawn there. We have Darren Sproles in the flex, which I think is the perfect place for him because he is the ultimate flex guy. You really put him anywhere. And then we have Jason Peters and Fletcher Cox. Those two seem like pretty much.
yeah,
Those are locks.
yeah.
Like one of them's a first ballot Hall of Famer in Jason Peters, and Fletcher Cox. He has a Super Bowl. If he continues to be productive, we might see him in the Hall of Fame too. So that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's crazy to say. It could be crazy to say right now, but it'll take some time.
A better year than he did this past year.
He certainly does, and I think he will. With
I sure hope so.
you know, we're gonna have Malik Jackson back, Timmy Jernigan's back.
I can't believe that, man. Malik Jackson, like nobody's talking about him. Like he was like one of the best defensive linemen on the Jags, like on that like scary defense for our Super Bowl year, and now he's on our team. Like, and he just got hurt, like, and he didn't play, but he's still on our team. Like, he's freaking a beast.
Yeah, he'll be lining up across from Fletcher, or next to Fletcher, I should say. And also, fun fact: you guys know he won a Super Bowl already
With who?
No,
with Denver, Super Bowl 50. He was on that defense.
really?
Yeah,
Is he like
dude.
a rookie or something?
Yeah, I think it was his rookie year. Actually, he's like 30. He's actually kind of old. Like, not old, but like he's older than I thought he was. Yeah. He's an established. This is an established
the Von
NFL.
Miller defense.
Yeah, bro. He got minutes.
They were scary.
Oh my gosh,
So he's legit. He like won that Super Bowl and then took the money in Jacksonville for an increased role.
Yeah, he did.
And then he came to Philly to come and win a ring. So it's the natural career evolution for a defensive tackle, really. Like, go play really well on a cheap rookie deal, get paid on some really bad team, and then go to a good team to contribute.
Do you think that there are any players on this list that should have been unanimous? I'm so interested by these unanimous players that were voted on.
I'm not really sure
really don't
about
get
the
the whole
unanimous
thing. Like, how can you have one unanimous from every position? Like, that's not possible.
Like everybody picked that guy.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I don't know how else you want me to explain it.
Well, you pick by position. So if
Well, the
every
safeties did it.
write
None of the defenses-
this is by the Pro Football Writers
It doesn't mean
Association.
that every single position's going to have a total agreement on the best person.
Most positions do, except for actually Gronkowski. I don't think is.
Oh, he wasn't. So that was the whole conversation we had
Yeah,
based on nothing. That's good.
but like Von Miller is, J.J. Watt is, it's like Tom Brady is obviously. But none of the safeties have unanimous little asterisks there, and none of the defensive backs do either. Interesting.
So defensive back, it's not really Philly related. I don't really want to just get into the list with the DBs, but I think there was a guy that got snubbed for the DBs. If you want to talk about it, if not, we can just cut the fact that I said that.
I'm curious now.
Joe Hayden,
Really?
quarterback,
From the Browns?
from the Browns, and then the Steelers, or vice versa.
I don't know.
He has more pass breakups and more interceptions than Chris Harris. He just wasn't on a good enough defense, or he was never on a good enough team to win a Super Bowl.
He was never a flashy personality either.
He was kind
When was
Joe
Matthew
Hayden's
drafted?
good as hell.
No,
What?
he's good. I'm not saying he's
Yeah.
not good, but like,
I think-
sometimes
I think he
lists
should
are
be on
about
that
like
list.
names you know off the top of your head.
I've always known who Joe Hayden is. I guess maybe that's just me. I just really like defense,
Yeah.
so that could be me. Maybe not everybody is a Joe Hayden guy. Maybe it's a weird affinity I have.
When was Matthew drafted?
Tyron?
Yeah,
I don't
I feel
know.
like he was drafted like. I feel like he was drafted like relatively.
It's because of character concerns. If he got drafted late, I don't know if he did though. He scored 1 total touchdown. That's good. He's a defensive player, so it doesn't matter. But it's this whole Wikipedia. Let me see here. Where did he get drafted? The 3rd round.
He got drafted in the 3rd round?
69th pick overall.
Nice.
Nice.
That's unreal.
Yeah, that's because of the character concerns, dude.
Oh my
I don't know.
goodness,
He's like
that's so
he had
I
like a
forgot
troubled
about,
past.
Yeah,
He had a
I
troubled
forgot
past.
about all that stuff.
Same
Yeah.
thing
Brother
with like
got shot,
Tunsil.
or his friend got shot. Yeah, well, Laramie Tunsil, he got rocked with the gas mask, bong rip, getting released the day of the draft.
Yeah, he got. Oh,
Somebody had his number. Like they
He
were
got
waiting.
wrecked.
They were waiting.
They'd had that for years.
Must have.
oh my God.
Ole Miss football, that's a sketchy program. Mississippi in general,
Front to back.
sketchy. So yeah, it's an interesting. I think it was a good list for the most part. I mean, everyone from like different teams. Like I had some Homer anxiety before I talked to you guys about Jason Kelsey and Zach Ertz, but then you guys kind of talked me off my proverbial ledge with that. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I was a little pissed off, but you know,
Well,
just a little. But
know?
yeah, now you know, you're not a fan if you weren't a little peeved before looking at the stats, and then you look at the stats and you're like, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah. We got you. Don't worry about it.
So one last quick point, just football in general. So this virtual draft, Adam Schefter was not happy about it. Big football insider, so I'm sure that he is getting that opinion not just from his own gut reaction, but from executives across the league. How do you guys feel about doing a draft completely virtually? And how soon do you think a team is going to have internet issues and not be able to get their pick in?
I think it would have to be within the 1st round that's going to happen. Like,
What team is your pick?
Ooh. Are we doing a water bet?
Browns. The Browns.
Are we doing a water bet?
A what bet?
A water bet.
Oh, what's a water bet?
You dump a bottle of water on your head and videotape it if you're wrong.
I don't want to do that bet. We already have a bet on who's
No,
going
I
to come
don't
out
wanna
with the
do
first coronavirus vaccine. Germany's letting me down right now. They're not making as much progress as I'd hoped. But
I'm telling you, it's going to be the U.S., baby.
Dude, the U.S. doesn't want a final solution to any
The
problem.
U.S. is still in scramble mode.
We want something that we can continually profit off of. Masks and ventilators. This could be we could have a whole gambling podcast based on coronavirus outcomes. But, I don't think we should do that.
All right, if I did have to bet on which team I think it would happen to, the Eagles. Like, I don't trust Xfinity. And you know that's what they're using.
Yeah, dude, they have to have Xfinity. That's like our rule.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's good. See, I was trying to think like, all right, who has like the most remote location? I was thinking maybe
Cleveland.
like Green
It's gotta
Bay,
be Cleveland
or Green Bay, because Cleveland's on the water, high winds
Yeah.
in the spring, rain that could really mess with the internet connection. Green Bay is kind of remote. It's cold. You never know. A lot of big questions around this virtual draft. I'm kind of excited to see how it plays out. I'm also excited to see if they're actually able to televise it at all, because that'd be kind of cool. Just Roger Goodell in his NFL footy pajamas, like
He's
reading
not
out.
gonna
it would actually be like a fantasy draft. Like, oh, they're on the clock. Oh, look who just got picked.
Oh, Seamus, that's a great point, though. We can't boo him.
That's sad.
We should all right, here's a call for all the listeners out there. You and your friends on draft night when Goodell, I don't even know. If Goodell
Turns
somehow
on his
makes
video
himself
camera.
known, tweet at Roger Goodell.
Just tweet it. Yeah,
Just boo. You can send a video of yourself booing. I'm going to be doing it. Hashtag boo Goodell.
that would be
Get it trending.
hilarious. Yeah, let's get it
I'm
trending.
absolutely doing
Boo
it.
Goodell.
Both from my account,
Yep.
boo Goodell.
The Wolves will be tweeting it.
No doubt. So stay tuned for that.
No question.
Stay tuned for that. It's in about 3 weeks, so I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll see if we get Denzel Mims. All right, so it's fun talking NFL football, Eagles, all that good stuff. Talking Denzel Mims talk. As much as I love to do that, we're gonna move on to the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Check out their website, www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a quote, get a recommendation for a contractor, and get a lovely new wide plank floor in your home, business, gym, wherever you put wide planks. This is the place to get them.
Put wide planks in gyms.
Dude, I don't know where you put a wide plank. They just give me money. They actually don't. Cut that. Cut all that. Leave it in. All right. So moving along with the Doghouse from Wide Plank Floor Supply, who wants to kick off this segment?
I'll do it.
All right, Seamus G, lay it on us.
It goes off of Wide Plank Floor Supply. They're a small business. And you know what? My Doghouse, I'm putting the Small Business Administration in. They have not handled their portion of the CARE Act of the $2 trillion that was given to the American people. And the Small Business Administration pretty much dropped the ball. They've changed the forms over and over again. It's impossible for a mom and pop shop to keep up with the changing of the forms. You can't get funded if you don't have the proper, bureaucratic tape or whatever. Like, you don't get through all of their checklists, and it's creating a lot of problems for people. And part of it's the bank's fault, but I'm blaming the administration for the haziness with which they presented their guidelines.
Yeah, these are trying times and everything, but it's their job to be on top of the ball. Small businesses, that's kind of the backbone of America. Everyone talks about these big corporations and all that, but the small businesses, the Wide Plank Floor Supplies, the other ones, the other small businesses, all of them are kind of getting let down by Uncle Sam on this one. So that's a little frustrating. But go on www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Help them out.
My Doghouse. I'm going with Elliot Shore Parks, the guy that covers the Eagles. And I just hate reading his stuff. Like he kind of he makes wild takes and waits for something to stick. And the constant misspellings also in his article are just it makes no sense. Maybe that's more on his editor than anything, but like, still, like, figure it out, bud. Like, and I hate his voice too. Like when he comes on the radio, he sounds terrible. I hate him.
Grammarly is free to use. This is in no way a sponsored ad by Grammarly. If there are any reps from Grammarly listening, feel free to contact us. But because I love the service. But just easy spell check. Also, was looking at his Twitter bio last night, and his part of his bio is better a bad take than no take at all. And to that I say, you're absolutely wrong.
Yeah, you're out of your gourd. Yeah.
Like, you can have, no take is not great. It's good to have a take, especially in today's hot take society. We're all moving so quick with all the takes and everything. But maybe try not to have the worst takes in the world, as he occasionally does. And more often than not, his takes are pretty garbage. But yeah, so ESP, get it together. I'll move along. This is in no way sports. Well, I guess it's kind of sports related. I'm putting Athletic Brewing Company in the doghouse. I was scrolling through my Instagram feed last night, and I got an ad for this company called Athletic Brewing Company. It's just non-alcoholic craft beer, and they're marketing it towards athletes. And I'm just like, if you're an athlete and you want if you want a non-alcoholic beer for whatever reason, some people, they can't drink, they're allergic to alcohol. Some people, they just like they don't like the way alcohol makes them feel. Go
All
for
the
it.
Calories,
Go
none of the buzz.
Exactly. See, that's a problem that I have with it. But then also with the marketing it towards athletes, like, who wants to just drink a yeast beverage and then go climb a mountain? Like, what kind of douchebag wants to do that? When I get down from a mountain, because I've only I've never climbed one, but I walked up one and I had a beer at the top, and then I tried to walk down, and it was really scary, very wobbly.
Only one.
Okay, I might have had two, but that combined with the altitude, it's a little spooky. So I could actually, you know what, I kind of am getting. Fuck you. Kind of getting why you'd want a non-alcoholic beer at the top of a mountain, but at the bottom of the mountain. Point is, drink water, you Nancy. All right, moving on. That was the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. I'm falling apart. This is the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Go to www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a quote, get a recommendation for a contractor, and it helps support a small business during these trying times. All right, so moving on. It's my favorite segment of the episode. It's Phillies talk. Here we go.
All right, yeah, let's do it. So I have a question for you guys, and this definitely applies to a specific player on our roster, but to more players in general that just have these 1-year deals with teams or just 1 year left on their contracts with all Major League Baseball teams. What's going to happen with JT Realmuto after he just lost his arbitration? He's only got 1 season left on his deal, and technically we are in the season, but like nobody's playing any games. So I'm just really intrigued as to like what the MLB is going to be doing with these guys. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, is the contract up then at the end of the so-called season, even if nothing's played? Does that still mean the contract's up?
Even if they play a shortened season, like it's not really a full season,
Yeah,
like
I'd rather. You see, I'm less concerned about if there's a shortened season, because then you can at least see. Because the whole point of why they took him to arbitration in the first place was to try and get a little, get 1 more year of him at a cheaper number and then see how he does. And if he doesn't play well, if he doesn't live up to the best catcher in baseball moniker that they've branded him with, which I think is crazy. You call the guy the best catcher in baseball and then you don't want to pay him. That's a whole other story.
Ugh.
It's just, it's a little silly. Stupid money, my ass, right? But so if there's a shortened season, then the Phillies can feel good. Ownership in the front office can feel good about throwing a lot of money his way. You know what I mean? But if there's no season at all, then they're kind of like, especially John Middleton, he seems to be a little squeamish with throwing the Bucks around right now, which is a little odd.
For no reason.
For no reason at all. And I understand the concerns with this whole, maybe there's no season, but this is JT Realmuto. Like, we gave up some stuff to get him. I want him here. Bryce Harper wants him here. You saw that, right?
We gave up like our best pitching prospect to get him. And Jorge Alfaro, like, he's a good catcher. I mean, he may have been streaky with the bat, but he had a cannon of an arm. Like, we gave up a pretty penny for this guy.
can't let him walk. Simply no way we can let him walk, and he's not going to come back here for a cheap deal.
If the Phillies didn't care about the luxury tax, we would have already signed him to like an extra 5 years. Like, for some reason, the Phillies just do not want to go over this luxury tax, and it makes no sense. You can't say, oh, we're going to go spend stupid money, sign Bryce Harper, and then say to Bryce Harper, hey, we're going to give you literally whoever you want, like LeBron James style, and not spend money. Like not go over the luxury tax. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce said that he expects them to be teammates for a long time. He said he wants JT in the clubhouse. He said he's a guy that the Phillies need in the clubhouse, and I fully agree with that. Exactly. Normally, when people are upset with owners spending money, or not normally, but there are a lot of times where people go, oh, like when Bryce Harper got signed here, oh, that's too much money. It's like, shut up. It's not your money to spend. You know?
Who cares? Yeah.
You know, you can't tell them how to spend their money. But this is a situation where you say you're going to spend money, and then you don't. So you made a promise. I mean, is his word bond to the fans? To a degree, it should be. You know, if you're going out talking about wanting a winning baseball team, and then you're wary about going over the luxury tax for what your social media team calls the best catcher in baseball, and who I think is probably the best catcher in baseball, if not like a top 2 or 3 guy.
He's most certainly the best catcher in baseball.
Okay, he's most certainly the best catcher in baseball. I don't want to, I don't want to tread into that dangerous territory. But if you're going to say it, then I'm going to go ahead and double down on that. For sure.
There's no question. There's no question about it. He's the best catcher in baseball.
So then, what the hell's the issue?
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Like, you just gotta sign him. I don't know why we went into arbitration with him. It makes no sense. Like, the whole thing is just a freaking snafu. Like, it's terrible.
Way to just disrespect one of your best players, right?
Freaking lowball. You're the best catcher in baseball. You dopes.
You can't tweet that out with every highlight of him and then not pay him. You know what I mean? Do you have any idea what kind of message that sends to the rest of your team too?
Oh my gosh, it's unreal.
If you earn that moniker, if you earn that title of best catcher in baseball, I don't know if everybody in MLB agrees with that, but I don't care. That's not the point I'm trying to make.
When was the last time we gave like a compliment to the Phillies front office? Was it Bryce Harper signing?
Yep.
Was that it?
Yep, that was
like
the last
a year,
time.
literally a year ago, more than a year ago.
Maybe when they signed Zach Wheeler, but then that was still with like, okay, well you got him, well who else?
That's true.
And then they got Didi, which was cool.
Yeah.
But like you know.
But all that came along when we were looking for bullpen pitchers, and they kept signing like these guys that are just not pitchers.
Yep, exactly. Like not guys that we really did not really address positions of serious need, because our bullpen is weak as hell, no question. So no compliments. So every compliment that we could have given, because they did make some solid moves. Didi and Zach Wheeler, solid pickups. Yeah. But, like, that still has the shadow of the bullpen. JT needing to get paid. Like, the question marks swirling around the roster. It's like, okay, you did some good stuff, but is it really worthy of an out-and-out compliment, Clentak, McPhail? Really? I say no.
No way. No, and Conway, you're really impressing me with your knowledge on the Phillies today. I like this back and forth. It's nice.
I've been reading up. I've been studying more. I have a lot of time on my hands.
Just talking to nobody. But Seamus G, I'm waiting for you to chime in a little bit. But it's
what I will say, I will compliment Middleton on one thing.
Oh boy,
he got Girardi. It wasn't Clentak that did it. It was him.
Yeah, you're right.
That is the one compliment.
Middleton wants to be back to like the Charlie Manuel days. Like Girardi and Manuel are very, very similar. Yeah. Like I love Girardi, man. He probably was like the best pickup. So like this offseason,
he was.
Like,
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
And he's the man. I love him, and he loves Philly too. Like he's already like feeling the vibes. Like he loves it.
Well, it's a good time not to be in New York. So.
Yeah, you got that right, big guy. Yeah, but that's really all I have on the Phillies. I mean, we didn't really there's nothing to talk about. I guess we could talk a little bit about what the MLB's plan is moving forward, like with starting off late and making games no fans in attendance, and having the World Series at a neutral site which would be the Dodgers. But what if the Dodgers make the World Series? Because they're looking freaking fantastic. So then what do you do there? Like, there's a bunch of different questions right now that we could get into if you want.
Unprecedented times. Unprecedented times.
I'm down to dig a little bit into this, into the possibilities of the shortened season and playing the World Series, or was it just the World Series or all the playoffs at Dodger Stadium in a warm weather in December, right?
All I saw was World Series being played at Dodger Stadium. I'm not sure that they figured everything out. This also isn't like an official thing. It just said the tweet said that it was a very well-known source, and that was it.
Hey, I'll take it. That's something to talk about. It's something sports related. There's some, anticipation. What are they going to do? I'm fine with a 100-game season. We talked about it a couple episodes ago, I think, about how that amplifies the importance of every game. And that's one of my big criticisms of baseball. Not that I'm like the pioneer of this criticism. A lot of people hold this feeling that 162 games is just a lot of baseball.
There's a lot of games.
It's just a lot of games.
That's what
Can't
makes
watch
baseball
all of them.
great, though, man.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes a season so it's such a grind. And it makes the run at the end of the season that much more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine like a season as long and as gruesome as that condensed down into a lot less games? It's crazy.
Well, the
Yeah,
NFL's trying
'cause
to
then
do
every-
that. They're trying to add regular season games. Well,
Yeah, NFL's trying to add games.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because football, there's so few games. Really, you can't add too many games. I mean, there is of course a threshold to where the games don't matter as much, but with the even just with a 17th game, every game matters so much. Right. It's like that's why the Eagles affect my mood every week, because that's like my outlook on life changes with each Eagles result. Well, when the Phillies lose, I get pissed off, but it takes a 10-game losing streak to really make me want to tear my hair out and cry. There comes a point where
I have the actual tweet that I sent you guys pulled up on my phone right now. I tracked it down, and this is from @MattSpiegel670, from a
Nice.
well-informed source that does business with multiple MLB executives. The 100-game season being discussed would include eliminating the All-Star game in Los Angeles, but would deliver a neutral field warm weather World Series at Dodger Stadium as compensation.
For the
Very
All-Star game.
interesting. Yeah, they would take away the All-Star game.
Right.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sad about that at all. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the home run derby the most because
love watching the home run derby.
Vlad, dude, Vlad was hitting deep shots. That
Yeah,
kid from
man.
Toronto,
Vlad Jr., baby.
Vlad Jr.
He's
That guy's a
gross.
beast.
Toronto's got some up and coming prospects, man. They got some
Yeah,
good.
man.
They got some good stuff. But
I love
Philly,
talking prospects.
I think the Phillies would really, really benefit from a shortened season, because the one thing that always kills the Phillies is that all of their pitchers end up getting hurt for no goddamn reason, and I think a shortened season would definitely help them out with that.
Yeah, I mean, just to keep those arms fresh, and then imagine, because here's the thing: if with the shortened season, you lose 62 games off the regular season, and then of course you have the playoffs if you make the playoffs. Those arms going into the playoffs are not going to be nearly as tired, I feel, right?
Yeah.
Is that a crazy thing to say? They're not going to be nearly as tired, and they're going to be able to pitch more during that actual regular season as well. So they want if there's a serious high leverage series, you might be able to get a guy like Kershaw, who's kind of getting up there in age, come in. Of course, you have to rest your pitchers, but on shorter rest and have his arm not be as worn out, and have more high leverage games. Have your best pitcher in. I don't know if that's a crazy idea,
Well,
or if that's
the shortened season makes every game a high leverage game.
yes, exactly.
It makes it. It really makes it a lot more interesting. And I know that baseball purists like myself, most baseball purists like myself, are like, no, we can't shorten the season. It's what makes the MLB so difficult, is that it's a long ass season. But I think that this could help the MLB with viewership.
Yeah, I think
Tremendously.
it's a great way to experiment, because you're
Exactly.
forced to do it. It's not like, oh, MLB is making this decision. It's like, look, it's like either this or nothing. Same with the NBA. Like, moving the season could potentially, that could shift the entire league calendar.
Exactly.
Forever because of this. And it could be, both those things could end up being beneficial for their respective sports. Having a shorter season for baseball. Having the NBA take up more of the summer. I mean, that could possibly damage baseball, but with a shorter season, people might tune into more baseball games. So, a lot of balls in the air. Really interesting stuff. I mean, coronavirus is ass. I think we can all agree. But it's in no way a good thing, but it's creating a lot of interesting narratives in sports anyway, I think.
I completely agree. I think that was a great little conversation we had there, Colin.
I really enjoyed. I opened my beer as I normally do to sip during the Phillies. I haven't had any of it. I haven't touched it.
Hey, that's great.
This is fantastic. You see, part of why I never really wanted to talk Phillies was that there was a Sixers season going on. So I never really even had any clue what was going on. And now that A, there's no Sixers at all, and B, this is when baseball was supposed to be, I'm kind of more in the baseball mindset. I'm very hot and cold with the baseball.
I don't think you gave yourself enough credit for baseball because you knew you were talking about last season.
Yeah,
like you did
because I watched every game because there was nothing else to watch.
Yeah,
I sit at my desk at work watching us blow leads to the Mets.
Maybe you should give your beer to Seamus G.
If I could hand my beer to Seamus G, I would. But unfortunately, I'm here in Dr. Fauci's basement. You guys are back in Newtown Square. Dr. Fauci and I are going to have a nice, fun game of beer pong after this. But, he prefers to call it Beirut. But as he is an Ivy League man, I think. I would assume he's a smart guy. But, yeah, so that's going to... I feel like that's good for the Phillies. I'm happy with what we've done, and now we're gonna move ahead to Outlandish Takes Anonymous, my favorite segment of the show, OTAs, brought to you by absolutely no one. If you want to sponsor the segment, shoot us an email, wolvesabroadstreet@gmail.com, DM on Twitter, Instagram. You can text me. I'm not gonna give my number on the show because that would lead to too many texts from all you crazed fans out there. But I'm sorry, that was awful. But so normally I ask if someone wants to kick off OTAs. I actually have an OTA, and I'm gonna actually come out and say it. It's not anonymous. This is my personal take. I'm stamping my name on it.
What, dude?
Yeah, I'm stamping my name on this one. It's a bit controversial
too.
I have been hyping it a little bit. Or I haven't been going crazy.
It's written. Let me tell the fans that it's written in our note sheet as Ryan's secret OTA.
Yeah.
So I don't even know this one yet. Usually we have this. Usually we have all the OTAs written down and everybody knows what's going on. The only anonymous part is the PhillyPhive, where we don't know where we're going with that. Those are live reactions, but the OTA, this one is live reaction.
Yeah, very special, very special. Don't hype it up too much because it might not be that outlandish. Who knows? But
all right, well, hit me with it.
For this upcoming NFL season, it is not just okay. It is more than okay. It is perfectly acceptable to root for the Patriots to have success solely to discredit Tom Brady's entire career.
I 100% agree with that.
Hold on just a second. All right,
yeah.
Let's back it up. All right. There's still a New England, like, Boston team. Like,
that's fair.
Like, you can...
Maybe not 100%.
Let's calm down.
Maybe not 100%.
Let's calm down.
I'm not saying hope they win the Super Bowl or anything, but I'd like to see them do well and win their division and have Tom fail in Tampa. Do you have any idea how much joy that would bring me?
I want Tom to be exposed as a Belichick pawn. I do.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I don't really have any hate for Belichick, even though he's a cheating son of a...
I have a lot
sucks.
of hate.
I hate that guy.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. All right?
Disagree.
Oh, Jesus.
Move on.
Mostly a joke. But I really am hoping that the Patriots... I'm not saying I hope they go deep in the playoffs or anything, but I'm hoping like Jarrett Stidham can step up and post big numbers in that Patriots offense.
I'm sorry, who?
Jarrett Stidham. Former Auburn quarterback. Total mad dude. Total mad.
Oh, my God.
I rate him a 5 out of 10 any day of the week. Personality, talent, fashion sense. Dude's a 5 out of 10. Even his name, Jarrett Stidham's a 5 out of 10. Very mad guy. So if he steps in, the most milquetoast QB in the league, and goes 12-4 under Belichick and McDaniels, wins their division, maybe wins one playoff game, and then crashes out. You know, I would love that. And Tom goes like 7-9 in Tampa, gets Bruce Arians fired. You have any idea how happy that would make me?
Wow. I mean, that's something that just like did not even cross my brain. Like,
hey man, it's OTAs for a reason. I'm not coming to you with reasonable takes. This is not a reasonable take, but I'll argue for my own take. You know, a little unorthodox, but we'll keep it moving. Who's up next?
Yeah, these are unorthodox times, man.
They really are unprecedented. It's unprecedented time. All right. D Wade isn't that good of a TV personality.
I have no.
He's not
like issues with D Wade on TV. Like, yeah, maybe he's a little boring. He's like just like, hey, I'm D Wade now I'm on TV. But like, I guess I can see where that person's coming from.
He's like a Jason Witten in my book.
Oh, that's harsh.
That's a little extreme.
That's harsh, buddy. Jason
I think
Witten.
That's a little extreme. I think what I think D Wade does well. I think he tells a story really well. He's a good storyteller. I love listening to D Wade talking about like the Miami Heat days with LeBron and Chris Bosh. I like that stuff.
Well, that's just because he was there and he was good. So he was part of that bronze inner circle. So he just has stories to tell. I don't know if it's so much that he can spin a yarn better than anybody else.
All right. Well,
he's been that guy in the room. Here's the thing. If we were a national podcast, D Wade being not good, like being a bad TV personality, that as a take would get us wrecked. But since we're in Philly, I think we have a little more leeway for me to completely agree. I don't think he's that good. Also, his antics in the slam dunk contest,
ridiculous.
Given he shat on Pat Connaughton, which is not cool. Giving Derrick Jones Jr. 50s for just doing the same between the legs dunk from like 3 different angles, as opposed to Aaron Gordon just absolutely yamming all different kinds of dunks from all different directions. Just doing it between the legs every time, that's cool. I'm impressed. I couldn't do that, but clearly showing favoritism to a Heat player, that's not what you're there for, D Wade. You're not there to play God. You're there to judge dunks. All right. Also, he's just kind of boring. Not a lot of inflection. I think the Jason Witten comparison was a little cold, though. I think that was a little messed up.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Why was Jason Witten bad in the booth? Because he was boring.
Because he was boring and he stuttered every time.
Freaking speak, yeah.
He couldn't string together a sentence, bro.
That's also fair.
He sounded like me the first time I tried to do an intro for this podcast back when we were starting. He was like, hello, everybody. Bulls of Broad Street.
It sounded like just me trying to make a genuine point, on the podcast when we first started. It's just unreal.
He sounds like the girl he has a crush on is in the room. All right, moving on. Well, last OTA.
Last one. I got this one. You guys are gonna love this. Alshon Jeffrey will lead the Eagles in receiving yards this next upcoming year.
Oh my God!
I can't believe you would say that.
Seamus G, do you want to take
it's
this
not
one?
Me. It's the anonymous. It's the anonymous.
You take this one. I gotta take
viewers.
a walk.
It's the anonymous viewers. And you know what? Actually, you go ahead. Go ahead.
We had a pre-show meeting, and you decided to include this one, and I was very much against it because that is a ridiculous thing to say. I mean, come on, I have no words for you. I really don't. This Alshon Jeffrey is way past his peak. He is constant. Why would Carson Wentz even want to throw it to him right now? Having Alshon Jeffrey as your number one receiver right now is a ridiculous thing to think. This is pre-draft, oh my God. I'm at a loss for words right now. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just
here's the thing.
Yeah.
One, not my take. Anonymous viewers. All right.
You decided to include it though. Me
Yeah,
and Conway fought against
because I thought it was interesting. Because I thought it was
outlandish. It is outlandish.
And I can totally see this happening because all he needs to do is get his head out of his ass, and he'll be fine. Like, he'll be a good receiver. He has. There is no doubt that he is a talented receiver. Like, his problems the last 1 to 2 years were clearly of the mental state. So all he needs to do is get his head out of his ass, and he could absolutely lead the Eagles in receiving yards this year. 100%. There are so many other question marks in our receiving core right now that if Alshon Jeffrey just figured his like, he could be our number 1 or 2 guy easily.
Yeah. I mean, the only because I'm siding more with Seamus G on this one. I don't think, like, who knows if he can even stay healthy and everything. Who knows if, like, his relationship with Carson's fractured. It could be. Carson could be like, yo, I don't mess with this guy no more.
Carson is a man of God. He believes in forgiveness.
Turn the other cheek. That's true.
Yes.
But the only thing to keep in mind with Alshon is this is a contract year for him. I believe this is the last year of his 3-year extension.
It's the last year. Yeah, it's the last year.
So even if he doesn't want to be back here next year, it's going to behoove him to put up good numbers, to play his ass off and get open. So even if we're not willing to pay him, he can get paid, despite being an older guy, he can get paid somewhere else more than we were willing to pay him. So earn that money that you signed for already, and then earn even more in the future. I mean, even if he doesn't like the Eagles at all, why would he self-sabotage? He should really go out, and you know what? Maybe he is. Maybe he will. Maybe his head is that far up his ass. It just can't be removed without, like, WD-40 or something of the sort. But
wait, so I'm confused. Who are you siding? Who are you siding with?
I'm siding with Seamus G because I don't think that he has the ability to lead this team. But if he does, and it's latent, and we just didn't see it last year because of injuries and mental stuff, then it would behoove him to play well because that means he can get paid. So I think that's the only possible reason that he plays well at all, regardless of whether or not he leaves the team. He has motivation to play well, financial motivation.
What scares me about Alshon Jeffrey leading the team in receiving yards is what is everybody else doing? Because if he is our leading wide receiver, we are not going to have a good season. And that's probably what's making me the most upset right now.
Here's the thing. Last season, if he just put up like 750 yards, we would have won like 2 more games, if you think about it. We could have gone like 11-5. We didn't have a single guy top 500 receiving yards. If he just did like 250 more than that, if he just played like a normal person, like a normal NFL wide receiver.
Like a normal NFL freak, is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah. just like your average wide receiver. Even if he went 650 yards, we could have at least won 1 more game, gone 10-6. We don't even have this crisis of self. You know what I mean? We wouldn't hate on him as much if he led the team in receiving yards at 650.
Yeah, no question. We
wouldn't
even
been an
be
issue.
having this OTA.
Yeah, we wouldn't be an OTA. I'd be like, hey, he did it last year.
I think it's time to be done with OTAs.
It is. Just a quick
OTAs
little. Oh yeah, sorry. You go.
OTA is brought to you by absolutely nobody. Let's move on. Do we want to get into a little bit of Sixers here?
I could talk. It's not so much Sixers as it is NBA in general.
Yeah, I agree.
So the NBA released a statement today, a couple hours before we sat down to record, basically saying it can't deliver a verdict on whether or not it will continue the season until May 1st. So we have a solid 3+ weeks to kind of wait it out. I'm good if they just cancel it. I don't care. Give LeBron the title. Just let. How funny would that be? LeBron James wins a title because of that, and then
That would
Three-peats.
be egregious.
Could you imagine the Jordan fanatics? How crazy they would go.
Oh my god!
It's like he wanted to during a plague. He didn't even win the finals. They just had the best record in the league. I don't even think they do have the best record. I think the Bucks do.
The
anyway,
Bucks do.
But like, give it to LeBron anyway. Give it to LeBron. I don't care. Give it to LeBron. Whatever. This whole season.
Yeah,
is
the
a
Bucks
wash
are
for
just
me.
a bunch of role players and Giannis. Who cares about them?
Okay, actually, here's the thing. I say that all the time, and I realized I'm an asshole, and here's why. Chris Middleton is so f***ing good.
He's awesome.
Chris Middleton.
He's awesome. I've been trying to say this for months. He's so good.
I was watching like highlights today, just like 26 minutes of awesome sports moments in the last decade to help get you through coronavirus, and it had Chris Middleton hitting this deep three with someone in his face to send a game into overtime. I was like, holy. Chris Middleton's really good. And then I watched Chris Middleton highlights for like an hour today. And I was just like, oh my God, I've been such a asshole about like that statement was true like 2 years ago. And now he's just a perennial all-star and I'm just a douchebag.
Yep.
So that's my
That's your walk back of the episode.
this is my Sixers related walk
That was
back
a
of the episode.
major walk back.
I'm just
That's
a
not
dick.
usually how we do it. That is not usually how we do it, but we're gonna go with it, I guess.
Yeah, like that's it. Chris, I know you tune in a lot. I know you're a friend of the show, so I apologize directly to you. We can go get lunch sometime once this all blows over, and I'll pay. Just kidding. You can pay because you're gonna get maxed out, you mother.
He is maxed out.
Yeah, even better.
He got maxed out this summer.
I'm sure he did. I'm gonna walk forward. Actually, Middleton. He's garbage.
Not worth the money.
All right, so that was the Sixers. That was fun. It's rarely fun talking Sixers anymore. But that was actually pretty fun. So moving on, of course, our final segment, the hallmark segment of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast, the PhillyPhive. This week is the top 5 Pixar characters, of course, in no particular order, but we do have an honorable mention as well. So there will be we will present our PhillyPhive to you, and then we will state very clearly that we have who our honorable mention is. So I guess that is in some way in order, but really not in any particular way. So who wants to kick us off with their PhillyPhive?
Conway, I want you to.
You guys are great. All right.
all
So my
love.
PhillyPhive, top 5 Pixar characters. Number 1 is Mike Wazowski, my absolute
Nice.
boy, the
Yeah,
one-eyed
nice.
homie. Up next is Elastigirl,
Wow.
because she fine as hell, and also just she kicks ass. Up
She
next
really
is
does.
up next.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, if you guys want to react, feel free to react.
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, I would like. Elastigirl is a badass. Like she is unreal.
And she
She goes on
whoops
that.
ass.
She goes on that secret mission and like to go save Mr. Incredible and Syndrome's little island. That was crazy.
Theoretically, I
Indian
can just
Golf
put the
Niner
entire
Niner. We
park.
have.
India
Request-
Golfer Niner requesting immediate backup.
There are children on board.
There are children aboard. There are children on board.
She quite literally
Violet!
holds the family together.
She
I
really
could-
does. Yeah.
Wow, some really heavy-handed symbolism there out of Pixar, but it was a great movie, so I'll let it slide. And here's the thing, also, I could have theoretically just put the 5 members of the Parr family because they're all sick.
Seriously.
They're all
Yeah.
awesome.
They're
I
all
love
great.
that movie. But up
That
next,
scene with Dash running across the water is freaking awesome.
dude's got speed.
Yeah.
Up next, I'm going the Toy Story route. It's not Buzz or Woody. It's Stinky Pete.
Stinky
What?
Yeah, I'm going
you
Stinky
kidding me?
Pete.
Top 5?
He sucks, dude.
That
That's
is
awful.
the worst.
That is
So,
bad.
yo, hear me out.
That is bad.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
No.
All right? No, hear
No.
me out. I have a right to be heard. This is America.
I disagree
First
on this
Amendment-
choice.
First Amendment right. First of all, Stinky Pete. Stinky Pete is it's just a funny name. Really, I just gotta go with Stinky Pete. It's just great.
You suck.
I think you know what. This is my list. I'm not going to tell you how to make your list.
Well, your list is already wrong. So
All right. Up next is
suck.
Wally.
Oh my God! What is wrong with you,
Dude? Wally's the man. What are you
against
smoking?
Wally?
What are you smoking? You're against Wally.
Wally is not even in my top 10 Pixar movies of all time.
I mean,
I don't even like the movie that much. I just like Wally.
He
bro.
is not a good character.
he's a great
I see myself in Wally. I think we all
No.
do. I think that's kind of the point.
Is the point.
Conway, your list has taken a serious downward trend.
And then I'm going to go Mater to close it out.
All right, you finish strong.
All right, All right, and then my honorable mention is I went with the hottest Pixar character I could think of, Mirage from The Incredibles. Syndrome's side piece.
Yeah.
I want to go next, and I just want to
Yeah,
say,
go ahead.
Ryan Conway, I'm very disappointed in you.
What?
Yeah, that was a terrible list.
No,
I'm
You
sorry.
guys are.
No.
guys-
There is one reason, and it's because you excluded one character.
Son of. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This character brought me my two best friends in the whole world because I quoted a scene from The Incredibles. So, Ryan Conway, I have a question for you. Where is my super suit?
I have one answer to that, and that is why do you need it?
I can't believe you didn't have him on your list.
Oh my god. I'd
I
swap
mean, I'll
out.
tell you right now.
I'd
He
swap
made my
out
list.
Stinky Pete for Frozone in a minute, bro.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Oh no, Stinky Pete's funny as hell, bro. Guys.
You are just. I can't even believe that you didn't put Frozone. You put Wally and Stinky Pete on your list before you put Frozone. That is.
Yeah, dude, I had Elastigirl, so I immediately shut my brain off to The Incredibles. I tried to cast a wide net.
Unreal.
Damn.
Continue with your list, James G.
Up, yo.
I'm a little heartbroken, but I'll push through. There is one thing that we had in common on our list, Ryan. Mike Wazowski.
Let's go.
The guy, he is Philly. He's the underdog. The genius that is misunderstood. And he's green. Go Birds. All right. Next.
Go Birds.
I do have a classic Toy Story character. Buzz Lightyear. His character
wild.
arc.
Very good.
I've only seen the first three Toy Stories. I think the fourth one should have been called something completely different, like Woody and Bo's Adventure. But his character arc, and plus, in the third one he has Spanish Buzz, and he dances.
About to say.
One of the best scenes in Pixar history.
El Vaquero.
Next, I have Crush from Finding Nemo.
Nice, man. Nice, dude.
Oh, that's
should have been a draft.
classic.
It should
I
have been a
told
draft.
you at the beginning of the episode it should have been a draft.
We should have done a starting 11 because that's how many good Pixar characters
there are
It's
a lot of
so
good
hard
Pixar
to narrow it
characters.
down to 5.
Wow. So that's right now. That's 4, and my last is the lamp, because you're about to see a banger when you see that lamp come out and squish the.
You can't go with the lamp,
You cannot
bro.
go
Easily
with the
go with
lamp.
What is
he
that?
is not a character.
Yes.
Give me one line.
No.
Give me one line.
All right,
I gotta have one
he's in a
line.
Pixar short and one of their first Pixar shorts, so he is a Pixar character.
You got me. All right.
I still disagree. I don't.
Cut that embarrassment. You immediately got me with that.
Wait, do I give my?
I still disagree.
All right, you can disagree, but my honorable mention is Mater.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention for Mater?
Yeah, well,
I mean, you had a dynamite list. It's tough.
You have a good list. Completely better than Conway's. But I think I'm gonna blow you guys out of the water here. All right, here we go. Ready? Started off with I have my favorite.
I thought this was in no particular order, you rookie.
It is in no particular order. in no particular order, but I am starting off with my childhood favorite Pixar character of all time. It is Woody. I love Tom Hanks. He plays a great Woody. I mean, he's just an all-time character in my eyes.
He does a great
Woody. Next on my list is Frozone.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
So I had Frozone on my list. I can't believe you forgot him. Next on my list is Mike Wazowski. I think we all had Mike Wazowski.
Let's go.
Yep, we didn't miss on that one, boys.
No,
all right,
not.
my next one is Mater, because
wow,
my brother and I used to crack the up at this guy. He's awesome. Larry the Cable Guy,
Yeah,
fantastic,
hilarious, front to back,
hilarious. And this one's a little bit of a haymaker. I love this one. It is Edna Mode.
Oh,
dude, she was on my preliminary list, bro.
This is one of my that's my haymaker. Like, that's a good one. She's great.
God,
no capes, none. No capes.
Dyna Guy, Thunderhead,
and guest.
Edna Mode, and guest, played by a man.
Wow.
Yeah. It's true. It's like the same guy that played like the Penguin in the Batman movies and stuff. It's crazy. That guy like played like so many different characters. It's crazy.
Dude, voice actors, man, they got range.
Yeah. And my honorable mention is Dory from Finding Nemo.
Dude, that's a wholesome closer.
It is a wholesome
Yeah.
closer. I couldn't put Dory on. I
I'm
thought about
so
it.
happy with my list.
No,
Dude,
it was
I
a
was
good
thinking
list.
Dory.
I have a better list, but it was a good list.
No.
Oh, that's a toss up, dude.
Easily,
I
have a
think
better.
the lamp,
The lamp
whole
puts
inclusion
you-
of the lamp.
That's the
Put you
haymaker.
No. That's what put you on.
The lamp is not the haymaker. The lamp is the what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a-
haymaker is Edna Mode, that type character.
Well, then that would be Crush for me. So
Crush. I would agree, is your haymaker character.
All right. Good Philly fives, except for me.
That was a
'cause
fantastic Philly five,
I
by
hate
the
myself. I hate myself.
I
went-
literally started tearing up, man. I really did.
I know.
You are
It
a
sounded
scumbag,
genuine.
Conway.
Dude.
Yeah, you're a scumbag.
Dude, Stinky Pete.
Totally. All right, I think that about does it. That was one of my favorite Philly fives of all time. That was fantastic.
I'm so
That
disappointed in myself.
definitely should have been a draft. I agree. Like,
We could do a draft.
We could. Let's do a draft. We could do a draft off camera or something. I don't know. I think that'd be fun.
Just do it for fun.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening all the way through to this episode. If you made it all the way to this fantastic Philly Five, make sure to rate this podcast. Give it that 5 stars so we can keep putting out quality content for everybody else. And make sure you follow us with our new handles: Wolves Broad Street, Twitter, and Instagram. And any other closing remarks, gentlemen?
Yeah, I got one thing. Just kind of settle the score there. Eric Lindros retired in 2007. And is beloved to this day by every Flyers fan that I can speak to.
After your shambles of a list.
Dude,
Seamus G, close it down. Close it down. Close it down.